Okay, so welcome everybody. And again, apologize for the false start there. So this is our virtual show for our little Christmas show, and this is kind of a first for us. We've had, I guess, we had two virtual shows so far, Murray, John Paul?
It's maybe three.
Have we had three? So this is our fourth?
It's going back quite a ways. We started that
Yeah.
right off the very first,
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. So this is a little bit different than the other ones. The other ones, not that they were terribly formal, but this one is very informal. And we'll talk a little bit about that. We're just doing this for fun and an opportunity to show each other our work from a Christmas standpoint. So welcome
and the
everybody.
progress.
And the
progress.
progress. And your progress. That's right. So let me see if I can't share the screen. Yeah, that's it.
Is Wayne Smith on there?
Not yet.
No,
Yeah, I'm on here now.
Got it.
Oh, there you are.
You got him? Okay.
Yep.
Should have heard what he called you, Mark. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I thought I'd been blacklisted. I thought I'd been blacklisted.
Well, that's right.
Just a quick question, Wayne. Did you get your magazine?
Yes, and I want to thank you very much because you fulfilled a childhood dream of mine. Ever since I reached puberty, I was hoping to someday become the centerfold in a magazine. But I didn't have a carving magazine in mind when I was thinking it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, there's always the next edition, Wayne.
Getting a little old for that.
Yeah, that was a very good magazine, Murray. That really nicely done. Thanks for thanks for showing off my carving as well. That was really appreciated.
No, regardless of that, I think and mine too. But I think it was. I've only had like 5 magazines, I think 5 or 6, and that's by far the best one so far. Like for
Really well
content.
done.
So, yeah,
Really
no, that was great.
Okay, guys. So thanks again for joining us tonight. I hope you can see this screen okay. See if I can toggle through. Okay, so what we're doing tonight is our very informal Christmas virtual show. John Paul and Murray and I did get together, and guess when? December 13th on that Zoom coordinate. And we did some judging over a 2-hour period. Here's the things that we judged against. And these are the types of things you'll find when you go to any show that the judges typically consider as they look at each carving. And it's a balance of the following things. So you look at the composition of the carving and the design of the carving. And you ask yourself, Jesus, is the carving really telling me a nice, simple story? From a caricature standpoint, is there a lot of exaggeration of the anatomy of the individuals or the animals that happen to be in the carving? So just taking a look at the general composition of the carving and the overall design. Also look at technical difficulty. So how difficult is the carving? Is the carving fairly static, arms right at their side, or are the arms out? Is there motion involved in the carving? Because that really lends itself to how technically difficult the carving was to produce. The third piece would be something along the lines of craftsmanship. So, just how clean is the carving? How sharp are the cuts? If pieces have been glued or laminated together, is the fit good, or can you see a gap? And so you take a look at overall craftsmanship. And finally, you take a look at the finish. So what does the painting look like? How accurate is the painting? Is it a painting where the colors are very opaque? Or is it a painting where the person is using a full spectrum of all the colors? So what I mean by that is if you're doing a red coat, is it just red? Or can you see in the creases and folds of the coat that there's a darker red to exaggerate the lighter red on the outside of the coat? And so you look at things like that. And then finally, just your overall impression. So, the judges make judgments. And so they'll like some carvings more than they like others. And so you take a look at those 5 things and you roll them all together. And typically at a carving show, and certainly in this little virtual show we're doing today, we didn't try to say, okay, which is the most technical difficult or which has the greatest craftsmanship. We took a look at all of those 5 things and just made a judgment call at the end on what should be first, second, and third. And we also provided an honorable mention. Okay. So Murray and John Paul, do you want to add anything to what I just said so far, or is that okay?
Originality, that helps.
Yep.
Originality. Did you make up this carving yourself? Did you do a little drawing, or something that you've seen, or something in your life that you wanted to portray, or
Okay.
fishing or hunting? Yeah.
Thanks, John. Okay, and then we displayed the carvings. So everybody sent in photographs of their carvings. You'll find that some of the carvings that we're going to show in the slide deck in a minute are displayed individually. So if Mark Sheridan sent in 2 pictures of 2 carvings, you'll see 2 slides with my carvings on them as an example. And in others, we did it in groups. And so when we did it individually, we generally did it if the carvings that a person set in were similar, like if they were all Santa heads, as an example. And if they weren't, if they were dissimilar, we often put them in groups and just judged it from a group standpoint. We set up our virtual show groups for best competitive comparison. So you know that in our previous virtual shows and competitions, and certainly in live competitions and shows, there's a novice level, an intermediate level, and an open level. We didn't do that. We just showed it as a virtual group 1, group 2, and group 3. And what we did was we tried to move individuals' carvings into the group that really gave them the best opportunity to compete with similar type carvings. And so again, if Mark Sheridan sent in 2 carvings, in this case, I would find that I might have one of my carvings in group 1 and another of my carvings in group 3, only because John Paul and Murray and I decided that would be the best best way rather to divvy up the carvings. And again, you'll never see that in a actual live show. If Mark Sheridan were to enter his carvings as intermediate, they would all go in intermediate. You never split them between novice and intermediate, or intermediate and open. But for this show, it's an informal show. We took a little bit of liberty, and we did that just for fun. And we did it for learning too, so that similar style carvings were side by side, and we could learn from each other, learning for yourselves as carvers and learning for Murray and John Paul and I as judges. And then finally, we awarded a first, second, and third, and an honorable mention. And our intent tonight is to do a little bit of critique and have a discussion similar to what you'd see at the end of a live show. And so we're going to go through each of the carvings. We're going to talk about what we saw in the carving that we really liked, and then hopefully leave you with a thought on how that carving could be improved. Okay, because even really great carvings, there's always something to improve and talk about. Okay, so on those last few pieces, is there anything else that I missed, Murray or John Paul, you want to mention right now?
I wanted to say that there was a huge improvement.
Yeah.
There's been a huge improvement on overall all the carvings since the beginning of what we started. There's a huge improvement, and we're as a group we should be really happy about each other. Should be proud.
Good. Thanks, John Paul. Okay. See if I can advance to the next slide. That would be good. There we go. And so for first, second, third, and honorable mention, we're going to send you an electronic version of a certificate that looks like this. So I made this one up for myself, and I took third place, and there's a picture of the carving. And on the bottom, you can see the 3 judges, John Paul, Murray, and myself. Okay, so you'll get this electronically. You can print that out and frame it, put it in your workshop. If you don't have a printer, you can go to Staples and they'll do that for you for pennies. And if that doesn't work for you, we'll print it out and we'll send it to you in the mail, okay? So that's the winners of first, second, and third, and honorable mention. Okay, discussion guidelines. How are we going to go through this? First of all, it's an opportunity for us to learn, so we're going to take our time to learn, but mostly an opportunity to have some fun. And so we're going to provide a brief critique focused on each individual carving. We're going to highlight areas that we've mentioned on our calls. So if we've talked about wrinkles or sharpening knives or using a burner to enhance the carving, we'll pull that out of the carvings we're looking at. And we're also going to offer you some considerations on how the carving would be improved. We're open for questions for clarity on the judge's point of view. We don't want to have a debate about it, but if you don't quite understand something that we've said, speak up and we'll describe it to you again. And we're also open for questions on how something of interest may have been done. So if you see a carving of someone's and you really like a particular aspect of that carving and you'd like to know a little bit more about that, ask the question and we'll get the person who made the carving to say a few words. And having said that, we only probably have 2-3 minutes per carving to talk about, so we don't have a lot of time. So I'll be a little bit of a timekeeper on that. And before we get into it, I think I'll finish by saying, judging is really hard. Like when you're at a live show judging, it's really hard to do the judging because the carvings are so good and they're dissimilar in many ways. And when we're doing it on virtually like we are today, it's even harder because you're working from photos and the photos are different. Sometimes the lighting that one person uses is different from the lighting of another. Sometimes the focus is a little better on one than another. So it makes it a little bit tough. And so don't get too wound up if you don't think we've done justice to your particular carving. Certainly seeing it live and being able to hold it in our hands, we'd likely have a different point of view on some of the carvings we looked at. Okay, we're going to get started unless Murray and John Paul want to add to anything I spoke to here.
That sounds good to me.
Good to me.
Rock and roll. So here's group one. Remember, we have group 1, group 2, and group 3. So here's group 1 and a carving from Craig. And Murray, do you want to talk to this one?
First, I would just say it's a great piece of photography. Great shot, very clear picture. I love this idea of this particular Santa. And it looks like he's functional. He's going to sit on the top of a wine bottle.
John, you want to add anything to that?
No, not really. It's really good. Nice little carving.
Yeah, really nice. I like the way the striations are in the beard. They're not all just up and down. They kind of wave a little bit. Maybe I'll just mention for everybody on the call, just mute your microphone so we don't pick up background noise. Really like the shape of it. I like it's got a little bit of a shoulder in here underneath the beard. In terms of improvement, again, it's hard to see from the photo. This whole notion about burning a line to make a little valley so that when you paint that the white doesn't go into the red or red doesn't go into the white, that's always something to keep in mind in all of the carvings. You can see a little bit of bleeding here. Just burning a line in there will create a little valley or a dam and stop that color bleeding. Changes that were going on around here. So you ran away. I'm just going to get you to mute your microphone. Children all over the world. Can you, Murray, can you mute everybody?
Okay, I'll just double check here.
See if you can mute it there. Is everybody muted? So if somebody wants to say something, you'll have to unmute yourself. Okay, this one was sent in by Eric. John, do you want to speak to this one?
Yeah. Yeah, nice little carving. Again, like the good little, I gotta zoom out.
Did we lose John? We may have lost John because of the weather. I don't know.
I'm here.
Okay. Oh, you're there. Okay. Can you still see the picture?
No, I can't see the picture now.
Okay, you'll have to probably log off and log back in again.
Okay, what happened?
Okay. I'll speak to this one then. So this is Eric's carving. He's got a nice little snowman on the left and kind of some poinsettias or poppies or some kind of Christmas flower on the right here. So the little guy on the left we really liked. You know, there's an example of a simple little carving that is really well done. So the face is just a friendly little face, little carrot nose. I think Eric was telling us earlier that he used the bead on the end of a pin for the eyes. The hat is very well done. Like you can make a really static looking hat, but this hat has a little bit of life to it, and the brim has a little bit of a curl, and the crown has a little bit of a billowing effect to it. And the painting is very nice. You can see that he's used a variety of different colors in the crown, and it really enhances the carving. The little flowers to the right, and again, are really well done. Again, the carving is good around the petals and the bud and the leaves in behind them. The coloring is very good. I don't know whether Eric used different colors on the petals or the leaves, or whether you know he used washes and they just washed to different levels into the grain of the wood. But it gives a really nice effect. We really like this carving. In terms of how do you improve, again, I like this idea of burning a line. So along here, you can imagine using a wood burner to burn a line, and it would just help when you're painting to not allow the white to move into the brim or the brim to move into the face. Really well done.
I'm back.
Okay, I already covered it. You missed your opportunity.
Okay.
Why don't you do this one for Jacques?
Okay, Jacques. Yeah. This is a nice little cute little ornament. The beard has got a nice little flow to it. I would have liked to see more detail in the mustache, little deeper cuts, the flow lines of the beard. Nice paint job, nice and clean. But I would improve by just adding a little more detail in the beard. Other than that, it's nice carving.
Mm-hmm. This is nice, the wave of the beard down in here, isn't it?
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah. Okay, Murray, do you want to talk about Eric's submission here?
Yes, I like this idea of the angel, the way that the wings, one was in front and one's in back. And the pose, etc., is very angel-like. And that part is neat to see. It's the things that would maybe improve a little bit is on that left-hand side of that picture. You can see that there's the white goes into the blue a bit. And Mark has mentioned that already, that a burning tool with a small tip maybe run down that area would seal that a bit for you, so the color wouldn't run into the other. Other than that, I think that it's a great idea.
Yeah, nice little carving. I like the feather detail on the back here. Real cute. Okay, Alex sent in a number of carvings. This is one of them that we just kept grouped together the way that Alec took the photo. So there's a little Grinch on the bottom and a couple of bells that he carved. You know, I know for a fact that this was carved without the help of a lathe to help with the concentricity of the bell, and that's difficult to do. And so Alec did a really nice job of getting the bell shape. It certainly looks very concentric and round top to bottom. The face, the eyes are nice and deep into the bell, which makes the nose nice and pronounced. Really nice looking carving. In terms of how to improve this, it's kind of nice if you can start blending a flesh color into the color of the back of the bell. So not having a strong line like that, but a sort of a blended line. And you do that with washes, a number of different washes. So that might be something that Alec would consider as well. Nice carving though. John?
Yeah, okay, these are pretty nice little carvings here. I like the
Elliot, I'll just mention, Elliot, you want to put your microphone on mute.
You want the camera on?
Elliot, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, I can, Mark.
Yeah, just put your microphone on mute, Elliot, as you're working. Good man. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, three nice little carvings here, nice and clean. Big improvement. Something to work on would be like more detail in the beard, little deeper lines that are they're so fine. I would like to see and distinguish from the mustache and the beard. I like to see a little more like I know where the mustache is and where the beard and the hair is. Other than that, it's nice carving, clean.
Mhm.
It'd be
I
a
like-
nice
I
little
like
ornament on a
this-
tree.
I like this little addition in here, a little sled in the back, eh? He's
Yeah,
hanging-
yeah.
he's hanging on a sled. It really looks smart. Nice car-
So when I'm looking at the carvings like this, especially with Tom's carving here, every once in a while, one stands out to say, I want to keep that in my file for an idea.
Yeah.
That's what Tom's done
Yeah.
for me here.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a nice little ornament. Okay, who's up?
Murray.
Alec, it's a great teachers we've got here. The two influences I see from in this picture is from Mike from Thunder Bay and also a Bell from Kingston. And you've done a great job, Alec. Really appreciate that. And looking at the Bell down at the bottom, he's an interesting character, kind of a mischievous Santa, if he is Santa. I like that the pine cone, the way it's carved, and very detailed. I'm assuming it's almost in the round too. It's not just a flat carving.
Yeah, we were all kind of taken with that pine cone. Well, I like the bell a lot. We're trying to take the pine cone, really well done with all of those little whatever they're called, the way they're all folded over one another. It might be worthwhile asking Alec to come back in the new year and just talk about how he did that because it really looks smart. And the frosting you put on it too, like the dry brushing to make it look kind of like frosted snow. It really looks good. Maybe it's a real pine cone. He's just tricking us. Okay, Craig sent in. Oh, do you want to do this one? Jake? Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, another fine carving, beautiful little wine stoppers or beer bottle stoppers. Nice. I'd like to see a little more shading. You know, it's very opaque paint on the Santa's hat. And but the trees I really like those trees, really look nice. Nice. Looks like you got a little lighter color on top of the darker green. But the Santas, I would like to see a little bit of gray, you know, a little shading and a little less paint and more water, and get some. You see the wood behind it, you know, and other than that, nice little maybe like Mark was saying, but the wood burning around the edges.
Mhm.
Like to see that again. Stop the bleeding over. But other than that, looks nice little carvings.
Thanks, John.
From a show point of view, too, looking at that one for Craig, is I like the lighting and I like the photography. It's nice and crisp and clean. You can really see it from this online kind of thing. It's easier if it's everything's live.
Okay, Peter, we'll just get you to put your microphone on mute here. Going forward, that'd be great. Okay, Janice sent us in a bit of a scene. So there's a few slides here. I'm going to show you this one. And the backside with their little trap doors on their jammies. And then and this one's a little bit of a close-up. We really like this carving as well. A really nicely done carving. The painting is really done well. If you kind of zoom in and or get close to it and take a good look at it, they're all sort of repeat little patterns on pajamas. The tree is a little different than what we would normally see, but it kind of adds to sort of the setting of these little Santas, and the dog's done well as well. You know, everything is pretty nice about this carving. I think that one of the things maybe Janice would like to consider is using that wood burning tool for her next one. And it just makes life easier. It's not cheating at all to use a wood burner to make a line and then paint with a very watery wash so that the paint only goes as far as that line. But in a general sense, this is a really nice little carving. Murray, are you up?
Yeah, right here. Now, again, coming back to the way the character is and posed different ways, that helps us to see all sides of it. And I like the way the mustache and the beard and the center character. He's an interesting guy for the size of him, the shortness and the width, etc. Kind of exaggerates his weight. Great photo.
Mhm.
Mhm. Maybe from an improvement standpoint, just from a design standpoint, when you look at this, and it's the camera angle as well, it doesn't look like there's the top of a head, right? And it's just because this is so horizontal, so level. And so maybe from a design standpoint, just bring it up a little bit so you see a little bit of that collar of the hat, or a little bit of the red in the hat. Probably would make look a little nicer when you're just looking straight on the carving.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, nice carving. Okay,
Wine bottle stoppers. Wine bottle stoppers again. Oh, nice. Those are nice ones. Same thing again. The old paint. I would like to see a little less paint, and but nice beard. The beard looks really good. Yeah. Other than that, nice little carvings.
Mhm. Okay, this one was from Alec, and pretty sure this is the Grinch. Nice, nice couple of ornaments. Nice couple of ornaments here. He did a nice job of capturing what the Grinch looks like. As soon as you see this, of course, you know it's the Grinch. The shape of the face, the shape of the smile. From a carving standpoint, he did a nice job of making sure that the eyes were far back into the face. So his eye sockets are far back into the face, and you can see the crown of the eyebrow here. So that's nice from a carving standpoint. The hat is well done as well. The painting looks good. You know, to John's earlier point, maybe a few different colors of red, like specifically in here, maybe a little darker red that would just make that valley a little bit more pronounced. And similarly with the green, you could use various tones of green to just make the dimensions of the carving come out even further. But nice little ornaments. They'd show up really nicely on a tree. Okay, and so that's group one, and the elves selections, elves being Murray and John Paul and I, would be this. So Eric, we're awarding Eric a first in our Christmas show for group one. Alec with his Grinches get a second, and Janet get a third. So congratulations to the three of you. And honorable mention goes to Alec. And we like that bell and really like that cone, and would like to learn a little bit more about that cone. So congratulations.
Very nice. Good work.
Well done, well done.
Okay, so let's look at group two then. Murray, do you want to start with this one?
Yes, I think the characters, just the composition, the Grinch on one side, Santa on the other, represent two different factions of Christmas that we know now. The carving's great. As Santa, I love the way you can see back into his face around his the hood that he has on. The description or the sign of the beard, you can see it with the lighting or with the shading in it. And then go over to the Grinch. He's a little darker colors. It may be just the lighting, but he's got his hand up considering what he's going to do. And that's an interesting character right there.
Any notion for improvement, Murray?
I just think that around different places, when you have the two colors beside each other, it may be just because the photograph's not real clear on the Grinch. But again, maybe the definitions with the wood burner between the green and the white and the hat. It's hard to tell, but even with the hand up to the chin, that would be help there. But that could be just the color and the focus of the camera too.
Yeah. A couple of thoughts I have is that this, again, it's maybe it's a focus issue, but this contour on the furry parts here, is it painted on, or is it a very shallow mark? Maybe make that a little bit deeper with a gouge. Similarly with the beard here, it almost doesn't look like it looks like it's painted on. It may not be, but just using a gouge to make that a little bit deeper might improve the carving. But really nice carvings for sure.
Just one comment here too about we come back to the idea of photography. If you're using a cell phone, most of the modern cell phones have this on it. You hold the camera still over the object, And then on the screen, before you take the picture, touch the object that you see that you want to stand out. That cell phone then will automatically capture and hold that focus on that position. And when you take the picture, the thing that you touched immediately comes into sharp focus. The danger is that if you don't do that, then the cell phone just generalizes and takes everything into focus, or even would take something in the background into focus and leave your foreground out of focus.
Yeah,
In the older cameras, there's something called depth of field. And the cell phones really don't have that kind of thing. It's another issue.
That's a good point. You want to talk about this one, John?
Yeah. This is a nice carving. I like the detail in the tree. You can really see the, what do you call them? Not the leaves. What do you call it? Christmas tree
Branches.
branches, I guess. Yeah. And yeah, nice detail, and it's hard to focus on the beard. It looks pretty good. It looks like it's a lot of nice detail in the beard. Eyes are good. Yeah, improvement. I would try to little less paint again, more like highlights and shadows, and really pronounces all your folds and that. It's nice carving.
Yeah, I agree too.
Okay, this is Lee's carving, and so Lee sent us this one, and it's Lee has a style that he uses very well, and this little elf is done in his style. Really nice carving. We like everything about this carving, really. His stance, the way his eyes look. If you notice the beard, he's even cleared away the little bit below the lip here, where the beard is cleaned up to look a little bit more stylish. The ears are nice and protruding. Really nice looking carving. So in terms of improvement, you can see Lee regularly uses a wood burning tool to make those valleys, but you still notice a little bit of splash over from the paint going one into another. And that may be because the paint isn't thinned down enough. It isn't a wash. If the paint is right out of the bottle, as an example, that little groove you made with your wood burning tool isn't going to stop the paint from migrating from one section to another. So maybe just take a look at how thin the paint is going on, and that'll make better use of the wood burning that goes into the carving. Nice looking carving, nice colors, nice texture, nice inclusion of different sort of levels of tone of the carving. It really makes it pop out.
And I just think
Very original.
that looks like a really hardworking elf that you has put a lot of kind of extra one color over top of it to give the little bit of a shading or texture contrast.
Yeah.
And so the white doesn't just look white, it's got a bit of a brown in it. Same with the arms and that kind of thing. So I'm wondering, maybe, Mark, when you look at that right-hand picture, when there's like two pieces of colors there, it may be that extra wash that put on top to that.
Yeah, the point I was making for everybody, though, is that the whole notion of putting a valley in there is to keep that paint, going as far as that valley. The only reason it should go farther is if it's not flowing, if it's too thick, and that's something to think about.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, John, you want to?
Yeah, this is looks like a bark carving. That's a pretty little carving. I like it, nice and clean. I like the use of the bark still, and then painting where the top of the hat is. Improvement. I would have made the top of the hat a little smaller towards the pom on top, and other than that, it's nice carving, nice paint job.
Inclusion of the little bird here is kind of cute.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
And there's a great idea of having the texture of the bark show up in some parts of it.
Yeah, really looks
Contrast to that in carving, like at the one on the right-hand side with the hair is carved and around the rim of that hat it's the bark.
Okay, this one's from Craig, and we saw a few of these earlier, but these are just some Christmas trees by themselves, and really nice. The different levels of the tree are all carved. They're You couldn't put a ruler up against that and see each one straight. They all have a nice curvature to them, which is nice to see. You use different colors to paint them. You can see some darkness where there'd be a shadow and some brightness where the sun would be hitting the outer branches. So really nice carving. As I look in here, I noticed that probably used a knife to do this, but I noticed that might be just cleaned up a little bit. Sometimes you end up with a little bit of furriness or burrs in the wood. And sometimes just running the wood burner lightly along that helps that out. You don't want to use a wood burner at too high a temperature because it'll burn the wood so much you won't be able to paint over it with a wash. But might be something to think about. Nice carving. Jean-Paul?
Yes. Oh, that's a nice little carving. Yep. Nice colors. I like the whole concept, the whole little bear, little stocking. A little more improvements. I would have put a little more wrinkles where the foot part is and the ankle part is. A little more deeper in there, and more a little more shading. It looks like there was an attempt of shading there, but I think a little more shading underneath the white. You can put a little bit of darker color underneath the white. It would accent that white more. But nice carving. It's nice, nice wood burning, not too hot. Looks like it's the right temperature. Yeah, nice carving.
Okay, Wayne sent this one in, an interesting carving, a little difficult to take a look at it because it seems to be a little bit out of focus to some extent. But you can see that there's a toboggan here, and you can see it's a fairly large chunk of wood. It looks like that it was used here, especially at the front of the toboggan. But he's got 1, 2, 3 polar bears and a little cat taking a ride on the toboggan. Really nicely done. The painting seems to be really nicely done. And it's just a fun carving to look at. He's got it mounted on a little bit of a snowbank here as the mount, and it looks like everybody's having fun. In terms of improvement, I might have made this a little bit more slender. This toboggan probably could have been made a little bit more slender and still maintained its strength. Another thing to think about is, this is really nice the way that it's set up, but nesting them together a little closer might have made it nicer as well. We've talked on these calls about using a pastel marker or kind of a lead marker to, mark up the bottom of one carving. If you pushed it into this one, it'd leave a mark on this, and you'd get a real nice tight fit if you took those marks off of the back here. Could have used that sort of process to pull all these together to make it look like they're really hanging on to each other. But real pretty color, or real pretty carving, and really nice colors used in it. Murray, are you up?
Yeah, this is a great carving. I love these. The characters are just so much fun. The fact that I think they're actually sitting in the snow is very appropriate too. The expressions are great. Each one's got a little different look to it, and the facial look. And the way that they're carved and set together is neat. I think that there's been some shading put onto that, at least in changing colors underneath the center guy with the brown underneath the hat. It's good to add a little bit of contour to the head, so it's not just flat. The great stuff. These are great ideas.
Nice photography.
Yeah. In terms of improvement, as I look at this, I can see some wood striations here, and that's something that people look at when they're judging at a live show. Has everything been carved with a sharp knife? Like right here, I can see that's been carved with a very sharp knife. This looks like it's been split. This looks like it's been split. So just really paying attention to those little spots and making sure all those little spots are erased with a real sharp knife. That really improves your carving. But this is a nice carving. Okay, Jean-Paul, are you up?
Yep, I'm up. Yeah, nice. This is a nice, cute little carving. Nice paint job. I would improve the boots. The boot is a little, I don't know what you say. It's a little square, I guess. I would like to see that the shoes a little bit with some more detail in the shoes with the leather bottoms and maybe some laces, that type of thing. Other than that, it's really, I like the beard, nice beard, eyebrows. Yeah, nice carving, nice paint job. Nice. I see a little bit of two tones on the coveralls, the lighter green and darker green. That's a nice carving.
Murray, you want to talk to this one?
Yeah, these are polar bears, I think, are related to the ones on the toboggan. The look of it. But again, the things that are on its back are really a contrast or a difference in each side of it. It took some thinking to get that pack together on top of the polar bear. They got a good outline of the way polar bears look. I don't think they're any different in Nova Scotia than they are way up in the north, but it looks they're great stuff.
Any ideas for improvement?
I would improve the eyes. More, it's not so polar bears needs some detail around his eyes, a little sunk in where the eyes are. Seems a little pointy, but great, nice paint job.
Yep,
But you know, I've carved some polar bears, and that is one of the issues of when you look at the face of a polar bear, it's not like a black bear, it's unlike any of them. But the one thing about it is that this bear on the right-hand side, at least the photo on the right-hand side, is still a little bit square. He's got the block look to him a bit on the head and the back there. But that may be just because you're in a hurry to get it done too. So I've done that lots.
Nice carving. Nice carving.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Okay, I talked about Lee's last time, so John Paul, why don't you talk about it this time?
Yeah, this is a really nice carving. A lot cleaner. It's really clean and nice around the face. Did a really good job. Again, maybe your wood burner is a little too hot, and maybe we could lower the temperature on that wood burner and between the white and the green. And sometimes too, after I paint it, then I'll go back and wood burn as edges again, in case the color goes right. Like say if you have a white, goes right on the black to make that line again. I go over top of that again, but at a lower temperature. But nice colors, nice shading.
Great expression.
Nice, yeah, good expression, originality.
I like the way that the wood shows through on the face. That's really neat because it's just more of a wash than it is a heavy paint.
Yep, yeah, for sure. Original carving for sure.
Okay, this one was from Jacques, and we really like this carving as well. So here's an example of a real nice design and composition with the little birds out on the arm. One arm out really makes a difference, right, to the overall design. So it really looks smart. The carving looks really clean. Like as you look across here, it looks to me like he's used a combination of knives and gouges, and he's got a few creases where they should be. The painting looks to be very accurate on this. He's got a little bit of shading going on in different sections. Just generally a really nice carving, I think.
Just making the difference of not putting a carrot on the nose, just a black dot too. Makes a difference too.
Yeah, I guess it does. Yeah.
And they compared to when John Paul mentioned about the other carving with the thickness up towards the tassel on top. This one's the proportions are great.
Yeah. Really nice.
Bent over to the way it is.
Now, in terms of improvement, I think I might look at the owl's face and just brighten that up a little bit. I know owls look like this, but I brighten it up a little bit, and maybe a little bit heavier shading, like whether you put a blue in with your white underneath the scarf or underneath here where the sun wouldn't be reflected. You might think about that, but real pretty carving. Who's up? Murray?
Me.
John Paul.
Okay, Murray.
No, go ahead.
Oh, me. Okay, yeah, nice carving, nice and clean for sure. And I like the beard, the mustache. You can tell there's a mustache, and you can tell there's a beard. I like that's the difficulty of carving that little Santa on top of the cane. That's can't be much bigger than a toothpick. Looks pretty nice. Yeah, it's clean. The eyes are good, nice paint job. I would like to see some more shading, like in the hat. You can see the the folding over the hat, but if he had a little bit of shadows in there, that would really pop, and maybe some highlight on top of that overall. Yeah, other than that, it's really nice.
I agree. This is a real pretty carving. I see a lot of carvings with the same sort of design where the eyebrows are like this.
Mm.
And they look great. And a lot of people make their eyebrows like that. I tend to make my eyebrows that this one would be there, that striation there, and then this one would be a little bit in this direction, and then this one
Yeah.
would be more of an angle, and then this one would be almost right down. So just something to think about. There's nothing wrong with the way this looks, and then you see many, many carvings using this kind of style. But Firdos might want to just try a different style to see what he thinks of that. Nice carving, though.
I may get
Mhm.
mixed up on this, but I think going back to our regular meetings and watching Furtis grow in his carvings, this is really advanced now compared to what he started off with.
Yeah, this is a really nice carving. Okay, and given that, this is group 2 and the elves selections. And so first, in fact, goes to Firdos for his Santa carving. Second goes to Jacques with the snowman, and third goes to Lee with his little elf. So congratulations to you three. Honorable mention goes to Janice for her little Santa. And
Mhm.
so
Very good.
congratulations to all of you. Those are really nice carvings. Okay, and that leaves us with the last group, group 3.
Just
So
gets harder now.
Yeah, it gets
Yeah.
hard. So I'll start with this. Elliot sent some bells in, and he took some really nice photos of it, so we could really get a sense of what the bells look like. And so everybody can see what a nice job has been done on carving. I like the fact that the eye is sunken into the head. Often we'll see an eye. It looks like it's just been painted on the outside of the carving. He sunk it into an eye socket here before he started carving the eye, and that looks really good. And that always promotes a nice nose. So as soon as you start putting the eye back in, the nose starts coming out, and did a nice job of that. Again, not something that was done on a lathe, so he did an extremely good job of ensuring that the thing was concentric all the way up. It's not waving in one direction or another. Nice expressions on the faces. I do like the way that he's blended the flesh color into the gold, and so that was obviously done with a number of different washes back and forth, and it really has a nice effect on it. In terms of how would you improve this carving, I think the carving is really nice. Improving it might be just taking a look at the next time he does a bell, taking a look at the shape of the bell and having it maybe a little less cylindrical and more curved. So, it might come up more in that kind of direction. So you'd see a little bit more of a curve to the bell. But these are really nice bells, really well done.
Okay. Yeah, this is a nice Santa. Nice beard. Improvement on the mustache. He's got it like going straight across. I would have a divided part in the middle and make that flow lines. Improving would be to maybe, or thinking about something like put pencil lines in for flow lines before you start carving. That way you have a good idea how to carve that out. And if you don't like it, then you erase those pencil lines and try it again. But the eyebrows, Mark, are looking good. I like those eyebrows.
Mhm.
Nice colors, nice shading. I see the couple colors there underneath the red.
Yeah.
Nice little carving.
Yeah, the other thing that we saw, and this was the first of several we saw, carved right through the beard. So you have these
Mhm.
little holes where you see right through. It was kind of a nice touch. Murray, do you want to talk about Wayne's?
This has to be a Maritimers kind of thing for sure.
No, I don't think so.
I love this Wayne. It's really a great carving put on the edge, coming on the edge of that square side. And it appears it's not deep into the wood, but it appears the way you got it painted and the way you've carved it out, that it is standing off of the block, not just flat onto the block. Kind of a low relief, I guess that's.
Mhm. really nice carving, and Wayne knows a little bit about marketing because he put a barcode on this, so you'll know the price of it. Okay, Firdos sent us in this one of a Santa ornament for the tree, and took 3 nice pictures of it, so we got a really good sense of what it looked like. Really a nice carving of Santa. So again, the things that I'm attracted to are the deep eye sets. So you can see how deep the eye is, and makes the bridge of the nose come out, and just makes the rest of the carving fall together. He's put nice wrinkles on each side of the eyes. The mustache is very well done, the way it's fanned out, starting with the whiskers going down, ending up with the whiskers going off to the side. I really like the way he segmented the beard. There's some very deep valleys here that show you a whole segment of beard, and then within that segment, he's got some more shallow ridges in there. Real nice carving. The painting is exceptionally well done. The flesh color looks really good. In terms of improvement, I look in here and I wonder about the beard sticking out the side like that. I think I might have improved. I would have been more pleased with it if these were more on an angle going down rather than coming out of the side. But there's not much to criticize on this or to critique on this. It's really nice carving.
I think
Yeah,
the
very
facial
nice.
proportions are great in that it's got the nose is a large nose, the eyes are further back, sunken looking, and that really makes it look like an old man.
Yeah.
As men grow older, their noses get bigger. And Santa is really old, so the nose is that little cherry kind of thing that some of the cartoons are made up of.
Yeah.
But this guy's got age to him with the way you look at him.
Yeah. Nice carving.
Yeah.
Murray, you want to speak to this one?
Yeah, I love the way you added things to it to make it. It's a very interesting carving because you've got to look at it all the way around when you look at the thing. And the character's face, that he's excited about what he's doing, sitting on top of the chimney. Not sure where he's going to go with that, but the paint job, I'm not sure difference on it. That it is, when I looked at the one on the left-hand side, maybe it's not carving, but it looks like to be like a cord of some sort there.
Yeah, it is. That's a woven cord and nylon
woven
cord.
cord.
Yeah.
It's blending that together, so you've got a great way to put the legs hanging down.
The boots are really done well. The boots look really good. Now Mike, in an email to me, he did share with me the fact that behind these little accessories here are magnets. So they're interchangeable. So you can see the
Oh, nice.
little girl here is in the backpack, and now she's being held in the hands. Little guys in the little teddy bears in the backpack, and now he's being held in the hands. What a great idea. Who would have thought of
Yeah,
that?
very nice.
Yeah, really
That's a
good
great
idea.
idea.
Nice beard.
Really good.
Yeah, so we'll steal that idea. In
Yeah.
terms of improvement, what I'd say, Mike, is again here I can look in there and see a spot that hasn't been carved with a knife, and so those are the things you want to take a look at before you start your painting. Just take a real close look at everything you've carved and ask yourself, where are the spots that I see the wood is split rather than carved, and clean those up. But that's a really nice carving. John, do you want to
Alright.
speak to this one?
Yep. Curtis is going gangbusters. He's really huge improvement. I can't believe it. But really good job. I like the side profile. I'm glad he took that picture. That tells a lot. You can see the eye on the side profile. Usually a lot of people, you can't see that eye. Yeah. But this one, it's really good. The paint job, I would have been a little bit better if you had put some more shadows in there. But other than that, it's nice carving, nice flow of the mustache. Yeah, and again with the eyebrows, I think you could go down a little bit more. You can go towards the ears. You flow the eyebrows down instead of going straight up.
The part that impresses me about this carving is when I look at the center one only. It's done in such a way that it looks like it's not just a relief carving, but it's carving in the round. And when you go to look at right and left, then all of a sudden, whoa, it isn't near as deep, as big as what it looks like in the middle. That's a real trick to do something with that kind of carving.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Okay, Dave sent this one in, and it's a little Santa gnome, and we really liked it too. It's a cute little design, cute little composition. He's gone and cut a Christmas tree. He's got his axe there in one hand and a tree in the other hand. Nice little carving. The colors are really nice and bright. The eyes are nice and bright. Nose protruding. Really looks good. In terms of improvement, I may not have truncated the beard so in such a straight line here. Maybe make it a little bit of a wave or bring a little tip to it. And maybe just kind of clean up, and sometimes just with a wood burner, just kind of clean up the little edges that the knife might lead against against wood. It's hard when you're doing a beard or a mustache. At least I find it difficult, because if you're using a gouge, or even if you're using a knife and you're making your cut from here all the way down to here, you're struggling with going one direction with the grain, going slightly cross grain, and then fully cross grain. And your knife or gouge is going to perform differently, and the wood is going to act differently in each one of those stages. So something to look at, to take your time, making sure those are nice, clean cuts, knowing which direction of the grain is. And even if you do get a little bit of this fuzzy stuff, just use a wood burner and just clean that up and it'll be gone. But real nice.
I like the expression.
Yeah.
Nice eyes.
Okay. So Elliot sent us in a number of Santa heads as ornaments on a tree. And so we're going to show you a couple of these. And then we focused in on one of them and decided that was the one we liked the most. And we decided to judge against that one. But we'll just give you a minute to look at these beautiful carvings here. He's done a really nice job on them. And some of those carvings are represented again in the second photo that he sent us. You can take a look at those. And we elected to focus in on this one here. We really like the look of that carving. And so there it is there. And Murray, would you like to speak to this one?
Yeah, I really like this carving. It appears to be a round piece. It's not just a flat piece again, I think. But as you look at this one, the look in the eyes, the only thing I would add to it is maybe some sort of a little dot of white somewhere in there to make it look like it sparkles, like it's a reflection. But it's a neat one. When you got the beard is great, the mustache great, the way that you've mentioned before. Eyebrows need to go a little bit to the right or left, the way that you talked about that too, Mark. But it's super carving.
Yeah, real pretty.
Nice flow in the beard.
Yeah, it really is nice.
And I like the way the lip is sticking out compared to other ones we've seen.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Dave sent this in, and John Paul, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, this is a big one. This is a really nice one. Nice carving. Nice paint job. It's hard to focus on with this. Oh yeah, there we go. That's a little better. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, nice paint job. It's a little thick, but see around the gold there, I would use a wood burner again, and that's how I would improve it. And improvement, I would have changed up those reindeers a little bit. They're all pretty much exact same. I would have changed the footings, changed just to break it up a bit, like the Rudolph there up front. It's a nice little carving. That's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. Somebody's going to be happy receiving that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Elliot's. This is another one of the set of Elliot's that caught our attention, and Elliot had sent in a separate photo of it, and so this one's called "He Sees You When You're Sleeping." So Santa's kind of spying on you here, and he's watching you while you're sleeping. So nice, cute little idea, cute design. Some real novel things that I saw was just the way this thing is so serpentine, like the folds in this hat. You can't imagine a hat folding like that, but it really looks cute with this carving. Just the way the ears are extended and tipped out is that really looks smart to me. I like the shading. I like the fact that he's shaded in a little bit darker in the beard, maybe a little bit too heavy in terms of darkness, but it adds to just how comical this whole carving is. What would I do to improve this? Again, I see here that the mustache is kind of going out towards the edge, as you'd expect. This one's a little bit vertical, and so I might change that a little bit. Elliot also used an interesting way to kind of make these little pom-poms and the fur around the hat. Typically you see a gouge that makes little dimples all the way around it, almost like a golf ball. His are a little bit more striated, like you almost see with a knife, but it really looks smart. It's a nice little carving.
This one looks like he's been down a chimney a few times.
Maybe that's why the beard's dark. Thanks for that, Murray. That's why the beard's dark. Okay, who's up for this one?
I like this guy. This is one of my keepers.
Okay.
And the fact of the snowman relaxed on his sleigh and or toboggan and really having a great ride. Santa's face with a big nose. He's an old man. And again, the photograph's really good. It's the carving, I think, and the great big beard, and big mustache, I say. And compared to the beard, he's really got a handlebar there. Great stuff.
I like the profile. Profile is nice.
Another part of it is when you look at where the snow kind of hangs over the bottom piece that it's sitting on. That's an interesting way to do the snow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, I agree with everything you said. It looks really great in terms of improvement, and it's hard to tell from a photograph. The carving doesn't look as like you use that sharp a knife or gouge, and maybe that's what Larry was after in this, to make it look a little rough. But you can see here there's a lot of spots where it doesn't look sharp, and you see it again on the snowman here, and maybe that was the intent. Certainly, probably not on the hat, but maybe just taking a look at it and asking, how can I make that a cleaner cut with a gouge or a knife or whatever's being used. Nice carving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, John Paul, are you up?
Yep, I'm up.
Okay,
Yeah, Charlie Brown and Snoopy.
Yeah, there's actually a few slides here, John, so I'll just show them all.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So those are the three, and you can talk about it and tell me where you want to go with it.
I'm good there. Yeah, that's a nice, clean carving. You know exactly who it is. That's for sure. I don't know what to say. It's such a nice, cute little carving, nice and clean. Maybe go to the next one where like this. Pretty wild, pretty good carving, good ideas. I like the string for the lights. It's well done. We were talking about just the one eyebrow was a little off, but other than that, it just nice carving, nice paint job, very opaque, very smooth.
I like how bright these light bulbs got painted.
Yeah, nice little sparkle there.
Yeah, there's a glare on the light bulbs. I'm sure Roy must have gone over that with a urethane or an epoxy to brighten them up. But nice little carving.
When I first saw this, I was sure that it was Stemo clay, not a carving.
Yeah.
It's so clean and so crisp. It's just what it is. And again, my thing has been the photography. I like the way the background's got a little bit of difference to it. And then the shadow of the tree and the doghouse and the guy, everything's there with the lighting from the left-hand side and top left-hand side.
Mm-hmm. Nice little carvings.
Yeah. That's really sweet.
Mark, I used metallic paint for the lights.
Okay, yeah, but it's an acrylic or
Yeah, it's the same size bottles or whatever. It's just metallic paint.
that really looks smart.
Metallic acrylic, yeah.
The shine is just perfect. Okay, this one's from Elliot, and another one of his sort of Santa faces, I guess, a Père Noël, and he's got a real nice look to him. The shape of the face here is just perfect, I think. Just it's narrow at the top where it fits his little hat there and bulges out to large cheeks. It really accentuates this whole oval beard. Really nicely done carving. I like the point that Murray made earlier about the lip protruding. Again, that's something that really strikes you. It really makes the carving pop. He's put in a few extra little wrinkles here. I'm not sure this wrinkle, Elliot, would be something you'd see in a person's face, but it doesn't detract from the carving. The painting is really good. Again, you can see these little gaps where Elliot is carved right through, and it just gives it a little bit different character. I think maybe the only thing I'd suggest as a means of improvement is this looks a little bit too clean cut, a little too trimmed. So maybe that should be a little bit rounder, a little bit more jagged, maybe one a little bit higher than the other. The nice looking carving though. Okay. Are you up, John Paul?
Yep. Yeah, another Wayne Smith, another nice clean carving. I love the two colors of the eyes, the blue. Yeah, it's a nice carving. I like the fold of the hat over top going, you can tell it's coming this way. Yeah, it's definitely like an original carving. Right around the eyes here, I would like to see that go in a little bit more. Right? Can you put your cursor mark right by just right around, a little over towards the ear?
Oh, here you
Yeah,
go.
right there. Yeah, right there. I would like to see that go in a bit more. It seems like the cheek and the temple is one size, like one shape. I like to see that go in a bit, but other than that, nice carving.
I
Beautiful.
I love this style, the difference of this Santa compared to others that we've seen. And like you go back to the history of what Santa comes from. Really, that first one was in the 1940s somewhere, with the red Santa with the Coca-Cola way back when, and certain facial features. But this one that Wayne has carved here, either the design is maybe somebody else you borrowed it from, but it's a cartoonish kind of depiction of Santa. I like that. And the way the beard is put into the sections as it is matches the way the eyes are, matches the way the nose is. It all fits together. It isn't just one style at the top and then a different style at the bottom, but very unique, Wayne. I just really appreciate that character.
Nice carving. And that's the end of it. And so here's the elves selection for our final group, group 3. And first goes to Elliot for his Santa. Second goes to Wayne for his Santa. Third goes to Roy for the Charlie Brown scene. So congratulations, you 3. An honorable mention goes to Dave for Santa in his sleigh.
Very nice.
So congratulations to all the winners here. Congratulations to everyone. I mean, that was a
It's tough.
well, those were really nice carvings. Those were really well done carvings. It was a lot of fun looking at them. It was a lot of fun judging them. So thanks for sending those in.
Like I was saying earlier, it's a big improvement from this year. We've had a big improvement from last year, and everybody should be happy with their improvements.
And all the people that are receiving these ornaments and whatnot that you've made for them, imagine how happy they're going to be this winter, unless you're hoarding them all for yourselves.
Yeah.
Each one of the carvers improving the way that John Paul's mentioned. That I've watched that too. And as you two are the ones that have been teaching or instructing or sharing ideas with, you're rubbing off on us. It's affecting us. And appreciate you too, what you're doing on that part. So
That's good.
But in my own carvings now, I'm taking a little bit of Mark and a little bit of John Paul and mix them together. And then I see Wayne Smith comes along and he just blows me out of the water. Each one, it's a cross-pollination here.
That's right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It really is. It's been a good thing for all of us to see.
Thank
And
you.
that's pretty much the end of our evening. So, thanks to everybody for participating in that and certainly for joining us tonight. That was a lot of fun. Our plan next year, of course, is to do another virtual show and competition. We'll be a little bit more formal about it when we do it then, and ask you to enter your carvings in novice, intermediate, and open. And we'll do a little more coaching for those who haven't been part of the session we had on photography. We'll do a little bit more coaching about that so that we ensure that we're judging one carving at the same level as another carving, just from a photographic standpoint.
Mark, I
So-
just wonder if anybody has questions or thoughts that they would contribute before we finish tonight. We've got enough time for that.
You bet.
Mike here. I just want to say thanks so much. It looks like in this True North Carvers group, we have our own three wise men. And I want to thank all three of you for all the work you've been putting into this over these years. It's been a great experience for all of us. Thank you.
Good. Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.
Thanks very much. It's been a lot of fun. It hasn't been as much work as you think it might be. It's something we really enjoy, and we're not getting out to our carving clubs as often as we'd like to. And so it's nice to have a virtual carving club and get to know each one of you guys. And, having said that, it was nice to go to a couple of competitions this year and meet some of you. And Murray, I know we're hoping to do the same thing in the next year and have a True North Caricature Carvers table alongside of the Ontario Wood Carvers Association table. And understand that everybody's welcome to those. So bring your carvings when we have that table. Stand there and talk to people and let them know what we're trying to do, and have some fun with that as well.
Just to comment,
Hopefully.
serving as the president for OWCA and watching the growth that's taking place in I think I have 4 years now sitting in this position. We wondered what was happening at very first. We saw changes taking place, but we didn't know what was going to take place. The major show that we had in Pickering had folded up, and we wondered what was going to happen after that. I'm delighted to say that the True North Caricature Carvers has been one of the things spawned out of that change period. And what's taken place when we really started that, if you remember the 3 or 4 of us that were talking about this, we wondered what was going to happen. And now tonight, with about 30 people participating in this particular group, and when we mount the video up, there'll be about another 100 to 200, 300 people will see the video within about a week. And then with the help of Lee Baldwin, putting the Facebook page together for the TNCC under that name and advertisement that he puts up there, I think that group has grown to be over 500 now that are joining in to look at the carvings that are coming in. And that alone has become like a platform for caricature carvers to show their work. And as I say that,
Thank you, Lee.
when we look at what's happening across the different fields and different places where shows have closed and magazines have changed over this last few years, our Ontario Woodcarvers Association, together with TNCC, has really made a mark. Now people are watching you from all over the world, guys. So as you present your things tonight, you're going to be in front of a whole lot of people.
Well, now you tell us that. Well, it's a good thing I would have been too nervous to speak earlier.
But
So
just
thanks,
thank you to
everybody.
because you've done a great job, and Merry Christmas to you.
Yes.
Yeah. Merry Christmas to
Yeah,
everybody.
hope everybody has a great Christmas. Get a lot of basswood and carving knives under the Christmas tree. And we'll get together in January and start all over, and hopefully have some things that help you improve your carving. So all the best to you, and we'll see you next year.